Okay, so here's where we left off in the last video. Still nowhere near sounding good, but that's totally fine at this stage. Yeah, let's continue shaping our sounds. And in this video I will go over audio processing of the sounds that come out of your synthesizers. Let's first color code the thing so I can see what I'm working on. Okay, so audio processing. You will basically add these audio effects onto your synthesizer sound, and it will really shape up your sound to sound a lot better and more powerful and more wide, and yeah, you know, these things. So let's get started. The first thing I usually do is a saturator. Put the dry wet on something like 30% to start with. I'm just gonna solo, or well, I'll disable the first bassline sound so we can hear the sound together with the drums, because in the end everything will have to sound good together. And then let's start to dial up the dry wet until it starts to sound a bit better. Actually, let's start at 30% again. We first have to put in some drive. And let's put the width up to 50% and the depth to something like 5 or 6. And now let's try dialing up the dry wet. And I'm actually gonna put it an octave lower again. Sounds more bassy, and in drum and bass I like bass, of course. Okay, so it sounds a bit more loud, a bit more crunchy, but not much, but it is something. And let's try an overdrive to push it even further. See what it sounds like with its basic settings. Sounds a lot better already. Let's push the dry wet a little higher. And the tone a little higher. That's another thing that slightly improves your sound, and we'll get there. I promise. So the one thing I do with nearly all my jump up lead sounds is I put a delay on there. Delay, where is it? With the S, simple delay. And then what we'll do is link them, put it on for, sync on, and no, sync off, so it's on time. And then we will put the time on somewhere between 19 ms somewhere between 19. I usually go for 22 milliseconds, but something between 19 milliseconds and 27 milliseconds would work really well, but I usually seem to go for 22 milliseconds. Put the dry wet a bit higher. And like you see, when you put the feedback up at around 50%, it will really start to give your sound this kind of a ringy effect, and that's what you want in jump up drum and bass usually. Yeah, so let's listen to it. So that sounds a lot better already. And then later you will want to add a EQ8. So let's put it on there already, but let's keep it at the default settings, because EQing or equalizing is something that we do at the end when we produced our entire track, and when we start doing mixing, that's when we equalize our sounds and get them to mix properly with each other, so there's no clashing frequencies between different sounds. And then at that stage things will really come together nicely. But for now it's still going with what we have, which sounds a bit shitty, but it's normal that it sounds shitty at this stage. Okay, let's do some audio processing on the other bassline sound we got. Let's just copy everything we got and see how that sounds on the other sound. Sounds much louder, which is normal because we got an overdrive and a saturator. And in my opinion it sounds a lot better already. Might have to tone down the sine shaper on the massive instrument a bit, because now we got an overdrive and a saturator. It will really push the distortion to a next level, which is not always a good thing. But let's first dial the overdrive down a bit, see if that fixes the problem. There, I really like the sound of this. Still a bit too distorted to my taste. I like these clean wobbly type sounds, so but for a secondary sound in a bass line that might work out. But yeah, let's try to dial down the distortion a bit on the massive instrument itself. So we got the sine shaper here. Let's put the drive a little bit down, the dry wet a little bit down. There, I like this sound. And then we can still play a little bit with the pitch of the phaser, the phase rather. Yeah, I like how it was initially, so let's keep that. I'm just gonna play with the vibrato effect a little bit again. Sounds pretty good to my ears. Yeah, of course there is still a lot of work on it to do, but we're getting there. So that was it for this video for the audio processing. Let's continue in the next video. I'm not sure yet what I will tackle in that video, but I'll be back. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.